Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be a sort of ranting type. It's about my pet peeves. Now I have very many, and so I just picked about 5. And so here we go. These aren't arranged in any sort of order. I just kind of thought of them and wrote them down. So the first one is when someone just keeps interrupting me while I'm speaking. Like, I'll be just telling a story and they'll be like, oh yeah, and then they'll kind of like do their own thing. Like, they'll just keep interrupting, or they'll be like, oh, so I thought of this thought, so let me just say it while you're talking about your story. Like, it bugs me so much. I did have somebody who just kept doing this and I literally had to interrupt them, and I was just like, can you let me finish? Like, I really want to finish my story and then you can say whatever you want. And I'm really not the type to say that, but it just like, it got me so mad that I just had to let them know that I did not appreciate them interrupting me constantly. Another incident I had actually just happened a few days ago. I think it happened on Monday, and I was with Lizzie and we were at the Coffee Bean, and this guy, he was part of my orchestra when, you know, I played for a while, and he's the type that I just don't really get along with, because he's one of those guys that are just like really oblivious to when you really don't want to talk, or, you know, he's kind of a know-it-all. Like, he'll say random facts and I'll just be like, okay, that's great, like, why did I need to know that? And so he comes into the Coffee Bean, which I should already know that it's his hangout place because I've run into him before, and I was hoping that that day he wouldn't come in, but lo and behold, he strides through the door, and I just kind of see him and I'm like, I make that awkward eye contact and I'm just kind of like, hey, you know, because I really don't like to be rude and just kind of look at people that I know and just kind of look down, just completely ignore them. But I kind of wish that I did at the same time. Maybe that would get the message across, like, hey, I don't feel like talking to you. I'm not part of the orchestra anymore, and neither is he really. He left actually before I did to go to some other college, but for some reason I just run into him everywhere. I run into him at Coffee Bean and Starbucks and even Walmart one time, and it's just like, I don't like it when I run into people I don't want to talk to. But anyways, getting on with the story. So he walks in and I just do that little awkward wave and then, you know, talk to Lizzie, hoping that he'll get that I don't want to talk and I'm with a friend, so he shouldn't interrupt. But he does. So we're sitting there and I've already made this like face at Lizzie, just kind of like, oh, I wish he wasn't here. But so we're talking about something random, and of course he has to sit, you know, the table right behind Lizzie, and he's just there, and he turns around and he looks at me, he's like, hey Betty, blah blah blah. He asked me about some kind of composer that I've heard about but I really don't care about, and he's like, oh, have you heard of this person? And I'm just all like, okay. And Lizzie kind of saves me and she's like, oh, is he any good, you know? And she just kind of like buffers the conversation away from me, and I'm just like sitting there looking at my phone being like, thank you Lizzie, thank you. And so they kind of have a few words and then he turns around and that's it. And after we decided that we had enough drinking coffee and talking there, we just sort of left, and I didn't even say goodbye to him because I just did not want to give an impression that like I wanted to still talk later on or something like that. And I hated it so much. It gives me that feeling like, oh, go away, please go away, I don't like you. The next pet peeve sort of still kind of ties into this whole interrupting thing, except this person, you know, waits. And a lot of these are going to be about what other people do because I am an introvert and I just don't like interacting with people. As bad as that sounds, it just kind of, strangers just kind of just make me cringe, and like, I don't like to make conversations and things like that. Sometimes, you know, I'll have good days and I'll be very active and talkative, but other days I'm just like, I hate interacting with people and I wish I didn't have to do it. But the next one is when you're telling a story and they do wait to the end, but then there's just kind of an awkward pause where you're waiting to hear their opinion on what you just said, and then they just completely change the subject, or they change it like to a story about themselves, and they don't even like respond to what you just said. They're just kind of like sitting there waiting, and then you're done talking and you're like, So yeah, it was really terrible, this certain thing, and they're just like, yeah, so this happened to me one time, or so did you catch that football game? You know, I don't watch football, but it's just kind of an example, and it just bugs me. I'm kind of like, yeah, okay. Now, do you have an opinion on what I just said? Like, even if they were just to be kind of like polite and be like, oh yeah, that is really terrible. And then, you know, then the conversations open up to whatever. And it bugs me so much. I'm just like, I just spent time, like, talking about this certain thing. And usually it's about something that I actually want feedback on. And they just don't do anything. They're just all like in their own little world. And they're just like, oh yeah, okay. So anyways, and it just it really, really annoys me. Another pet peeve about interacting with people. I'm just really bad with interacting with other people. It's in any kind of environment, unless I know them really well, you know. Most of these pet peeves, they kind of don't bug me with my friends, because I'm just all like, I know your personality already, I know what you're gonna do, all this kind of stuff, so, you know, it doesn't bug me. But strangers just have a way to get underneath my skin and just bug me. And this one, I'm sure it does bug a lot of people. I know my friends get bugged by this, and they've said it before. And it's when you're usually in public and you're reading a book, or you have headphones in, and they're very plainly, mine are like neon blue, so you can see that I have headphones in and I am listening to music, and there's a reason why I have them in. And then somebody just comes over, and sometimes they'll be sitting on a bench and they'll just sit down, look at me, and then they'll just start talking like I knew, like I could read their mind, that they wanted to have a conversation. And I'm just like, I'll be reading something and I'll just kind of like stop, look at them, and just kind of be like, yeah, okay, like, do you not see that I'm enjoying my book? Like, I'm legitimately like in my book. I don't want to talk. There's a reason why I picked this bench that was completely clear and free of people, and I'm reading a book. Leave me alone. Or when you have headphones in and you're just there and you have both in and you're listening to music, and somebody will just start talking to you, and you have to take out your little earbud or take off your headphones, and I just look at them like, I'll take it out, listen to what they have to say, kind of respond, and then put it back in. Like, that should be an indicator, right? That the conversation's over, like I don't want to talk. But then they'll just keep talking, and then I'll just be like, I have to take it out, I have to pause my music, and I'll make like a big deal out of it. Like, I'll literally like take my iPod or my iPod out, pause the music, and then look at them like, you made me pause my music. Why are you making me pause my music to talk about something that I don't want to talk about? I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you. Why are you talking to me? Like, I know some of these, it makes me seem like I'm stuck up, but it's just like my personality to not like to talk to strangers so much. Next one, I will give all the people out there a warning who do not like to hear about the, like, woman body, like, you know, things like that. It's nothing that bad, but I mean, some people are kind of sensitive, so I'm just giving you a warning. You can skip this one, okay? I'll wait. Okay, anyways, so for the people who have stayed, this one really gets to me, and one person I know who is watching this right now will know that this is partly your fault. And you will know exactly how, like, when this has happened, and you have done it once before, so I'm just letting you know, because I don't like conflict and I don't like to just speak out loud right away. And anyways, getting on with the actual pet peeve, it is when someone, or you know, it's usually another girl, makes fun of my breast size. Like, I'm a 32B and I'm completely comfortable with that. I don't want smaller boobs, I don't want bigger boobs. They're perfect for me and my body shape, they're proportionate to me, and I'm happy. I don't like aspire to want to have bigger breasts. Like, I don't want that. I'm completely content with myself. But someone will make fun like, oh, you're so small, like, oh, poor you, and I'm just so like, what do you mean poor me? I'm completely happy. Why are you trying to put me down? I'm completely happy. I have no desire to have anything bigger. I've never said that I'm uncomfortable and I wish I had bigger boobs. Like, I've never said anything or indicated that I want it. So why are you making fun of me? Like, So what? I don't care if you have bigger boobs than me. That's your thing. You have back problems. You know, I don't care. And another thing about the body is that I am naturally thin. I have a high metabolism. That's great. I can eat kind of whatever I want and I don't like gain anything. And sorry if that makes some of you mad out there, but it's just how my body works. And I am still like self-conscious. Like, I know that everyone has self-conscious things, but like I don't like wearing bathing suits because I don't like to show my stomach and things like that, just because I'm like, oh, what if someone thinks that I look weird or something. Like, I very am self-conscious about myself. But usually I'll say like, oh, I want to eat healthy today, or I want to start working out because I want to tighten areas or something. And they'll just look at me like, why do you want to do that? You're so skinny. And they'll get like really mad at me about this. And I'm just all like, just because I look thin, it doesn't mean I'm actually fit and healthy. Like, I would rather eat a pizza than a salad, you know? I would rather do that, but some days I'm just all like, okay, I really need to treat my body better, so let me take a more healthy option. And then somebody always gets mad at me for it because other people are bigger than me and they're more self-conscious than me, so why are you being all whiny and stuff like that? And I'm like, you know what? I want to be healthy, so just stop. Like, it doesn't have any thing to do with like, oh, I'm rubbing it in your face. I think I'm fat, you know? And which I don't. I make fun of it. I'll be like, oh, I'm so fat. I ate so much today. But obviously it's not like, I don't legitimately think that I am fat. I know that I'm thin and I'm happy with it. So I'm just like, sometimes I want to work out. So what? You know? Get over it. The final one I'm going to be talking about today is, I don't think it's my like worst pet peeve, but it's way up there, and people do it to me all the time, and I'm just like, oh, you people, I want to hit you sometimes. And you know, you do that where you hit them in your mind, but you would never do it in person. But that is when someone points out something on my face, like a pimple or some blackheads. Like, yes, I get pimples. I don't get like huge breakouts, and I'm really lucky for that, but like, yes, I know that there's a pimple there. I can feel it. I can see it. I put makeup on it today. I know that it's there. You do not need to point it out and be like, oh, you have something on your face. Oh, that's a pimple. Like, thanks for that information that I already had in my brain. Thank you for that. Now can we move on? Yes, it's there. You have one too. Should I start pointing out your different flaws? Like, stop it. And then they're like, oh, you should really pop that. Can I pop it for you? Like, no, you can't touch my face and pop a pimple for me. No. Leave me alone. Like, I know it's there. And eventually I probably will pop it myself because I have a serious problem with that. And I know you're not supposed to touch them and things like that. But I don't like them on my face to begin with, so I usually get rid of them. And I'm lucky as well that I don't get as many scars from it. So, you know, I usually don't have a problem with popping them. So when somebody else just like points it out, I'm just like, thanks for that information. What did you do today? You know? So I'm going to stop this video here. I have many other pet peeves, so if you would like me to do a part 2 to this, I would gladly do it. So just leave a like and a comment below about it. And maybe you can put some of your pet peeves, you know, we'll have a whole mad comment section or something like that. Take a moment to subscribe to me for more videos. I do try to put up videos every Monday and Friday. Sometimes it'll turn into Tuesday or Saturday or something like that, but I will try my very best. And I would really appreciate to not feel so alone. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I try my very best to post slightly frequently on those. I'm doing a little bit better now that I'm actually doing it for people. But yeah, so I'll link those below. It's both of them are XX, the Shy Girl XX, but I'll still link them below just in case, you know, you forget or you just want to click on a link and get transported there. So that is it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!